Hi, I'm Sid Dobrin. In this video, we'll look at the radical revision project that asks students to create an infographic based upon the research prompt in this chapter. Unlike most of the standalone assignments in writing situations, this radical revision prompt serves as an extension of a previous assignment, the research prompt found in this chapter. The research prompt asks students to conduct some research about the history of a type of informative document not addressed in this chapter. The prompt offers examples of CD liner notes, copyright pages in a book, and dietary information panels on food products and how they convey information. The radical revision prompt then asks students to take the content from their responses to the research prompt and create an infographic that informs an audience about the history of that other informative document. When I designed this assignment, I saw the objective as being a way for students to take their research and their informative writing and revise that information into a more visually based genre without surrendering the primary purpose of writing to inform. The assignment, that is, asks students to think both about how to write visually to inform and how to revise key information from an academic essay into a much more concise form without losing or changing the accuracy of the information. Given the rising popularity of and the increased circulation of the infographic as a genre, students need to be alert to how to write and read infographics as a contemporary and often primary genre for conveying information. When I teach this assignment, I try to stress with students that infographics are generally successful when they're clear, concise, and accurate. The purpose of an infographic, that is to provide visual representation of information quickly and clearly. They are not overburdened with detail. I tell students to think about an infographic in much the same way we might think about an encyclopedic entry about a subject. Thus, I show students how to refine the information in their research project down to the most fundamental yet necessary points of information. And I should point out that when I use this assignment in a class that's populated primarily with business students or students from technical fields, I link this approach to single sourcing strategies that they will likely encounter in their careers. Once students have whittled their writing down to the essential information points, I ask them to make lists of the visual metaphors and visual techniques like charts, graphs, and tables that might best convey visually the kinds of information they need to convey. I also like to use this opportunity to have students work in peer groups to talk with each other about which visual metaphors and techniques resonate best with peer readers before they begin to design their infographics. With this feedback in mind, they then begin to draft their infographics. I do find it useful to teach the chapter about finding, adapting, and making visuals in conjunction with this assignment. Because this assignment relies on the research students conducted for a different assignment, when it comes to assessing their projects, I try to emphasize the importance of critical thinking for this assignment, in addition to their knowledge of conventions and awareness of processes. I share with students what I mean by these criteria by sharing the assessment rubric I use when grading their work. I've included that assessment rubric with other instructor support materials for this chapter. You should feel free to use that rubric or adapt it to your own assessment preferences or requirements. In any case, I do hope you find it useful. My students like this assignment, but they often get a bit frustrated trying to determine what information is necessary and what information is secondary. When they hit this snag, I encourage them to work through the mapping your situation feature for this chapter in order to help them ask the kinds of questions they need answers to in order to determine what information needs to be kept, revised, synthesized, or excluded. I hope you and your students find this assignment challenging. At the same time, it helps them to become more attuned to the details of writing to inform. Thanks for using writing situations, and thanks for watching.